Hello, YouTube. Speak fan 757-665-6226. My name is Steve, and I think I might just start referring to myself as Steve. Hope everyone is doing well. I have a LaserDisc ad video. I guess this is technically my first LaserDisc ad video. And I've actually had some of these for almost a week now, but I won so many different things on eBay, and they're all coming in at different times. And I still have quite a bit more coming in, but I figured I've got enough to make a video. So, anyway, if you like the channel, of course, you can subscribe to it. I try to keep it nice and friendly. Hit like, subscribe, comment if you wish, and we'll talk all things, well, in this case, LaserDisc. And so anyway, I've made other LaserDisc videos, so I won't go into why I love LaserDisc. I'll just say that LaserDisc has been a fascination of mine for several years. So, the first thing I ordered on eBay, the first thing I received, and these are in no particular order, by the way. These aren't alphabetized. This is actually sealed, and I'm very reticent to open it. I'm sure I will, because I've never seen it and I want to see it. This is a Hammer production of The Hound of Baskervilles with Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing. And actually Peter Cushing is playing Holmes in this. Directed by Terence Fisher. All of you Bond fans should know who that is. And, like I said, I'm not a huge Hammer production film fan. I like it enough, but some people just are crazy about it. I'm not that guy, but I love the character of Sherlock Holmes. It's kind of very popular these days to like Sherlock Holmes, and that's cool. I remember a time when it was absolutely not popular to like Sherlock Holmes. Or anyway, it's kind of like it's like Doctor Who now these days. If you like Doctor Who, you're pretty cool. When I grew up, if you like Doctor Who, well, most people around where I lived would say, "Who in the hell is Doctor Who? Who?" Now it's which was your favorite Doctor? So anyway, that's the first pickup I got. Didn't pay too much for it. This I actually purchased in a lot, but it wasn't a lot. Well, it was a multiple laser discs, but all from the same seller, but it wasn't a lot. This was actually used as well. This was sealed. I'm sorry, I said this was used. This was sealed, and I opened it because I really wanted to see it. I'm a big Dickens fan, and I just finished reading for like the second or third time David Copperfield. So, MGM's production of David Copperfield. You've got W.C. Fields there as Mr. Micawber, and oh gosh, not Jackie Cooper, Bartholomew. What is his name? I'm sorry. Freddie Bartholomew as a young David Copperfield. This is a 2-disc. It doesn't have a gatefold. It's just together, but that's okay. The copy that, the transfer actually wasn't that bad of the film. I kind of enjoyed it. But if you're a fan of the novel, then there's a lot missing from this movie. There's a decent sort of made for BBC, it was a miniseries, produced, I want to say maybe in the late 90s, with Bob Hoskins as Mr. Micawber, and a very young Harry Potter. What's that kid's name? I'm not a Harry Potter fan, I don't know. But the gentleman that played Harry Potter as a youth played a young David Copperfield. I got this in yesterday. I got this in a lot of 2 movies. I did not specifically want to get this film, or I didn't buy the lot of LaserDiscs for this film, but it is a good film, and it's not the best, but it's a very good one. It is The Son of Frankenstein. with, of course, Boris Karloff reprising the role of the monster, and this time we've got Basil Rathbone, who plays the son of Dr. Frankenstein. Oop. This is CLV. MCA Home Video. This also stars, I believe, Lionel Atwill as a sort of like a constable soldier, ex-soldier constable. Like I said, it's not the best Frankenstein movie, but it's a lot of fun. It's very atmospheric, some great lighting, cinematography. The reason why I bought that, though, was because I wanted to get this. The original Frankenstein. MCA. It is a restored version. It doesn't look bad. Not bad at all, actually. It's got a few features on it, if you want to call them that. It has, let's see, theatrical trailer, a collection of photographs, and then they've got scenes replayed for study. In case you didn't want to go and find them on the other side of the LaserDisc, you could find them there. So, next, this is something that I own on Blu-ray, but I think amongst the LaserDisc community, at least the ones that really search for this kind of stuff, this is a pretty good find. I have not been able to find this on eBay or really anywhere else for less than like $25, and I can't do it. I found this for $10 and jumped at the chance. If for nothing else, then it's just, I love this film. It's one of my favorite, like I said, if I have a top 20 favorite, then somewhere on that list, this movie would be on there. It is a very influential film. I don't think anybody who loves cinema should miss this, especially science fiction, Metropolis. Now, I will say this is the Giorgio Moroder version of Metropolis. Back in the early 80s, 1985, Moroder, who had produced a lot of soundtracks for like Scarface, what else did he do? I've forgotten. Flashdance, and a bunch more. He sort of kind of brought Metropolis back into what you might call public consciousness. He felt it was a film that needed to be rediscovered. But he also thought, you know what, people aren't going to like silent pictures, people aren't going to sit through a silent film, so I have to jazz it up. So what he did, he included a soundtrack to this with the likes of Pat Benatar, Freddie Mercury, Loverboy, Adam Ant, and more. I like it because I remember seeing it years ago and thinking that was pretty cool. Does it hold up today? Absolutely not. But for a collector, this is awesome. For a fan of cinema, you really should see this. There are other versions. I don't know how many other versions on LaserDisc there are. I need to check LaserDisc database. I haven't been able to find any other versions except this one, though. And I love the cover. And I own the film on Blu-ray 3 times over. I own the UK edition, Masters of Cinema. I own the Kino Lorber restored edition, and also the Kino Lorber Giorgio Moroder edition. So, Metropolis. This film is a film that I've always liked. I love horror. I'm kind of funny about what horror movies I watch, though. And this one I saw years ago, probably younger than I should have seen it. But I fell in love with it. I love the first film, and this second film is even just as good, if not better. It is the special edition of Hellraiser. Hellbound, Hellraiser 2, widescreen special edition. And this actually has a few features on it. It has some theatrical trailers, TV spots. There's a Clive Barker interview, Tony Randall and cast interviews. Tony Randall was the director. And they also have a makeup and effects montage, plus a running commentary by director Tony Randall and screenwriter Peter Atkins. Very cool. So, I know that the special edition that was out on DVD of this film is no longer in print. The only edition you can buy on Blu-ray is a really substandard version. And I kind of want to get it because just to fill out the collection, but at the same time, I think I'll wait for Scream Factory or Arrow Video in the UK to put out something a little more definitive. This film I actually own on Criterion Blu-ray, but it's a film that I love, and for completist sake, I bought it. I believe this is only pan and scan, but this would not be considered a common by any stretch of the imagination. It is Ingmar Bergman's Autumn Sonata with Liv Ullmann and Ingrid Bergman. Duh. And Ingrid Bergman and Ingmar Bergman were not related, strangely enough, but they were both huge fans of each other's work. So I thought that was kind of cool. It's a really interesting film. A lot of stuff going on there. And so I really love this movie. I'm a big Bergman fan, but really Autumn Sonata I think is the one that I go back to the most. I think it has a lot of emotion. This film, this is not really a film, but more of a documentary. It's on the Criterion Collection. It is Criterion number 326. This is not a gatefold, although it does have two LaserDiscs. It's a great documentary called A Personal Journey with Martin Scorsese through American movies. There's the Criterion label. I saw this a few years ago on Netflix, and I really liked it. And I just happened to find it. Well, really didn't really find it. I wasn't looking for it. I just sort of came across it one day on eBay. And for what I paid for it, it was definitely worth it. Anybody who's got a real interest in, certainly film should watch this. Some people don't. I don't know why, but some people just are afraid of films that are black and white and silent. If you don't like those movies, then this is not for you. This is Scorsese kind of gushing about his love of different silent films, different 1920s, 30s, and 40s films. All American, all Hollywood based. This isn't a foreign, but really goes into some really cool territories. Always keeps it interesting. So, if you get a chance, I would check that out. This next one, actually, my wife is a big fan of this movie, and I just happened to notice on Culture Dog's channel, Sam Hatch, that he had this in his collection, and I thought, you know what, I need to get this. So I ordered it, and so thanks, Culture Dog, for reminding me that I don't own this. It is Flash Gordon. We watched it just the other night. I think it looks pretty good. The image is very, very good for a LaserDisc. And my player, it's not the best player in the world. I have it hooked up to my 60-inch Aquios. Is it Sony? Not Sony. Who owns Aquios? Is it Sharp? I don't remember. Anyway, I have it hooked up just through RCA cable, but I think the film looks great, even without all the bells and whistles that a lot of folks have in their theater system. I want to say it's Sharp that puts out Aquios. I should know this. This is part of the Cinema Disc collection. They specialize in a lot of foreign film. This actually is on the Criterion Collection on LaserDisc, but the one that I found the Criterion version I found was, I thought, way too overpriced. So I found this version instead, and I thought, you know what, I just want to see the film. I don't necessarily need to have it in Criterion. I'd like to have it in Criterion, but this is an Agnes Varda film. It is called Vagabond. I'd read about it. I saw a trailer for it. I'm not a huge Agnes Varda fan, but it sounded interesting enough, and I've never seen it, and so I paid just a few dollars for it. It's in fairly good condition, too. I'd have to get more of those. Okay, I'm going to skip this one for now. This is one of my favorites. I found this, and I did pay a little more than I did for any of these other LaserDiscs, but it's worth it. I am conflicted because I do want to open this up. It's sealed. It is something I've had on my wish list for quite a long time, and I finally broke down and bought it. It is the limited edition, sealed. I don't know how limited it actually is, but in what I would call pristine condition, Boris Karloff, Bela Lugosi set from the Roan Group. It is still sealed, folks. I like the Roan Group. I actually had a few of their DVDs. I had White Zombie DVD, and a few other ones. And I have a few others on LaserDisc as well. And for the time, they were considered to be, you know, a very small but reliable source of good, decent transfers of some of these older films. It has British Intelligence, Mr. Wong, Detective, The Invisible Ghost, Ghosts on the Loose, and The Devil Bat. I've seen one or two of these. I think I've seen a lot of the Mr. Wong movies, so I probably have seen this one. And Invisible Ghost with Lugosi I've seen as well. But it's just beautiful, man. Now, here's the question. Should I open it? I want to. I really do. I know the Devil Bat actually just received a Blu-ray treatment from Kino maybe about a year or so ago. It's not worth owning on Blu-ray, I'll be honest with you. It's good, but not really worth owning on Blu-ray. I mentioned in one of my other videos that I'm trying to collect Hal Hartley films on LaserDisc, and I did bid on 3 of them online, and I won 2. The other one, I kept getting outbid, and it was getting to a price that I thought was just not worth paying. This is a Punch-Out, which I did not know when I bought it, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. It is Hal Hartley's Simple Men. If you've seen it, then you know it's a great film. One of my, from the 90s, one of my favorites. Has a great soundtrack from Yo La Tengo, I think. Pretty sure it's Yo La Tengo. It's been a while since I've seen it. I know that they scored at least one of his films, and I'm pretty sure it's that one. It's Bill Sage right there, and Robert John Burke, who is sadly a really unknown actor for most people. Most folks will have seen him in either RoboCop 3. He played RoboCop. They asked him why they chose him to play RoboCop. It was Peter Weller for the first 2. And he said, because I look like Peter Weller from the nose down. I always thought he'd make a great, like a voice of Batman, Robert John Burke. Strangely enough, I think Peter Weller did voice Batman in one of the more recent animated adaptations. Here's another Hal Hartley film. This one is pretty good. But it is full frame, I believe. I haven't watched it yet, but I believe it is pan and scan. It is. Yeah. Robert John Burke. I forgot her name. Very cool. You know, and I don't own these films on any other format, so when I bought them because I knew that I wanted to watch them first and foremost. Okay, this film, this does have a bit of a ding on one of the corners, but otherwise it's in pretty good shape. I do own this on Blu-ray, but just to round out the collection, and because it looks nice, and it was cheap, I mean literally like 99 cents cheap, I got it. King of New York, Christopher Walken. Very interesting film, where Scarface left off. King of New York begins. I don't know if I'd say that, but I actually prefer to Scarface, if that says anything. I think it's a little more hip. It's got a great soundtrack from, I think, Schoolie D. Or he does provide at least some music for it. It's a very young Steve Buscemi, a young Lawrence Fishburne, a young David Caruso, I believe a young Wesley Snipes as well, among many others. This film is one that I don't own, and I've always wanted to own, and it's not on Blu-ray. I think it's on DVD, but I think it's kind of hard to find. I've never really sought it out. I saw this. This is a Punch-Out. It is one of the, in my opinion, one of the better Joel and Ethan Coen films, even though it doesn't get the props that I think it deserves. It's kind of lost in the shuffle of all his other films. But, that said, I like it. It's weird. It's kind of creepy. Well acted, and it looks beautiful. It is Barton Fink. With John Turturro there. Really a creepy film. John Goodman, if you've seen it, then you know that he's pretty good. He's very creepy. There are parts of this movie I just don't know what to make of. You know, and it leaves a lot of things unsolved, a lot of things open-ended at the end of the film. Not to the point where, you know, you're kind of angry because you don't know, but just because they just leave you like, you know, maybe, maybe not. Did they not? It's very good. I haven't seen it in years, and I actually had the screenplay for this. It was two film screenplays bundled together in one book. It was Barton Fink and Miller's Crossing. I love Miller's Crossing. It's a great film, kind of very Dashiell Hammett, kind of Red Harvest-esque. And so I really wanted that screenplay, and this came with it. And I actually read this and kind of fell in love with it, and I had to see it. So that's that. This, if you watched my other video, you know that I already own this on Criterion Blu-ray. Or, well, yeah, I own it on Criterion Blu-ray. I own it on Criterion LaserDisc. And I also owned it on Criterion DVD. Now I owned it on a non-Criterion LaserDisc. And it's really a messed up movie, man. It really is. There's a lot of really interesting ideas that are being thrown around. This is The Night Porter. Third Beauregard. Charlotte Rampling. Yes. She is wearing an SS cap. Now this LaserDisc is actually a little, it's got some age to it. 1982, this LaserDisc was printed. And I just popped it in and watched a couple of scenes, and it doesn't look bad for its age. The last two are what I'd call guilty pleasures. I saw both of these in the theater. I don't think it's going to take a whole lot of wondering why I like it so much. Yeah. Species. Natasha Henstridge right there. Beautiful as the Giger-inspired alien who seeks to have sex with as many men as possible. Sounds like a pretty good movie to me. It's science fiction. It's 90s. What's not to love, you know? I mean, come on. Not all of them can be winners. You know what I mean? You can't. Not every film has to be something profound and deeply disturbing or moving, or not every film has to be The Seventh Seal. Okay? No, I would rather see movies that are going to inspire me to think, films that I think are beautiful to look at, performances, but at the end of the day, sometimes you just need to turn your mind off and just enjoy whatever is in front of you. And I happen to enjoy that. Species 2, which answers all the burning questions from Species 1. This is actually a really good copy. Very, I would almost call it cherry. Right there. This does have a theatrical trailer and a running commentary track. Not that I think I'll need to know anything about the making of this movie, but if I ever do, I guess I'm covered. It's a elephant condom, which I hate. I will be buying some replacement sleeves for these. Anyway, that's all I'm going to show today. That's all I've got as far as new stuff. I think I've done pretty well. I've got a couple different shipments coming in, one from LaserDisc Vault, actually, and another from seller. I'm not really sure. I've never done business with him before, but I bought a lot of really cool discs for a pretty decent price. So we'll see about that. To be continued, as they say. In the meantime, this is Steve. Thank you for watching. Please do comment, like, subscribe, and, again, I appreciate people that make videos like these. That's why I'm kind of giving back. I want to contribute to that. So have a great rest of the day, evening, night, whatever, morning, and I'll see you next time.